Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can tell, we are pulling out the transmission in the quad cab today. David is learning how to do these, and I said, if you want to see what you're going to tear up, let's go ahead and pull mine out from KOS, take a look, assess the damage, and kind of show them the things to look for. And I will also film your guys' content on this as well as things to look for on a high horsepower 48 that you're tearing down for a refresh. So whether you are just getting into this, or you're curious what we tear up, or maybe you're a shop and some of the stuff we point out, maybe you've never checked, never paid attention to, I hope this video helps. At the end of the day, the focus is making sure David is self-sufficient for his own transmission, but I figured I'd bring you all along for the content. This transmission has all of the drag racing from Wagler Motorsports Park in the fall of last year. It has the Hub City dyno and dirt drags, which really wasn't that bad. And then it has all of the KOS abuse, 2 sled pulls, a dyno hit, 100 street miles, 7 rounds of like 640-ish drag passes. We made it all the way to the final. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds of dirt drags. And let's take it apart, see what it looks like. Okay, sorry about that little snafu, phone died, but this is the transmission all torn apart. The emphasis of this video really was to show you guys just an up-close personal what tears up on these. KOS, like I've said before, is a grueling competition that you have to calculate out. So as I show you guys these parts, just remember, we didn't pull this transmission at all, and this is what we're dealt with. So first thing is we cooked the pump. It's scored in here, scored on the gears. This stator's junk. So this pump is now done. We'll have to put a different one in here. It is what it is. This is what happens when you're in the finals and you make a judgment call, knowing that all you had left was 2 sled pulls. This is what will happen. Now, input shaft straight, overdrive looks fine. Our planetaries all look good. The one thing we did see, and this is really a first for me, and this might just be wear. We actually started to wear the second gear arm. So this sits here and it's galled up, so we'll have to do that. That's the first time I've ever seen that before. Other than that, all the rest of it looks good. We smoked our second gear band, which made us put a slip-in second gear band in here. Meyer, if you can tell, literally took a grinder to it to basically give it enough to bite. our third gear clutch. Now this could be from a plugged filter that hurt the pump, could be from debris. We cooked this one. It is what it is. We collapsed another billet Belleville. Again, great product, just does not last long. Our forward clutches look absolutely awesome. I would probably reuse these in most scenarios. I'm gonna just replace mine so David gets good experience. Our sun gear is still tight in here. Our intermediate shaft, we'll polish this up. It'll be ready to go back in. We didn't hurt this Sonic's overdrive piston support, and the reason why, it's got two holes to feed the low reverse, and then it's got 2 grooves to feed the intermediate as well. The stock one has, 1 hole, 1 groove, and that causes some problems. Our overdrive clutch brakes look fantastic. Those I will reuse because that's really not a measuring kind of thing. And then this is our modified slip-in second gear band. As you could tell, it was on its way out as well. Everything else though looks pretty good. We're gonna get these parts cleaned up. The focus of today is to teach David how to put this back together, not to entertain you. So as much as I'd love to get some commentary as David puts this together, that is not the goal of the video. But what I will tell you is, whether you're building this for yourself or you have a small shop like we do building these things, if you have a transmission that goes through KOS and wins and it looks like that, I would just go ahead and take a bow. That is a grueling event. A lot of competitors have tranny problems. You can only build these things so strong. These transmissions could barely hold 325 horsepower, 600 foot-pounds of torque. This transmission pretty much survived around 1,500 horsepower all weekend. One big dyno hit, which dyno hits aren't that hard. Like, I'd love to tell you dyno hits are hard on trannies. They're really not. It either slips because there's just not enough line pressure, or they live. And this is 2,500 horsepower, 3,800 foot-pounds of torque. It looks great. Again, I'd love to say like these big dyno hits are hard on. They're hard on motors. They're not really that hard on transmissions. So we're gonna get this put together. We got one last customer unit here. This was 1,000 horsepower refresh. That one David stacked. Ran into some issues, which I'm glad we did. I showed him how to deal with that. And now we'll get back onto this. We got the dirt off the case real quick, and we're gonna walk them through. If you guys are looking for more of a step-by-step educational, go back about 2.5 years. You'll see a blue transmission. The caption says full billet. It's an hour and 20 minutes long, and it walks you through pretty much every step you need to build your own 1,000 horsepower transmission. Now, we're going to start giving these things the brake cleaner baptism here, and I'll update you guys along the way. Are you excited, Dave? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we have all of our parts clean. Dave's starting to work on the forward clutch assembly here. We got the intermediate, the overdrive built. So far, not too bad. We've only cut 1 or 2 seals, and now he's putting the retainer on. Just like that. Yep, now pull the shaft up. Perfect. Flip that over, and you're gonna put the Belleville spacer. You got it, buddy. Now we got David stacking the direct room. He got lucky on this one. It only took 3 times to get it stacked right. Little thicks, thins. It's got a very interesting technique on the steel holding though. And like I told him, it's kind of obvious to the naked eye on a thick versus a thin for somebody like me that's done it now for 3 years. But there's nothing wrong with taking a mic out, just checking them. We're gonna make sure he builds this one right. This is my transmission. I should have definitely let him learn on his own transmission. And I don't want to pull this back out. But that's where we're at. Input's all the way done. All that's left is the pump and servos in the case, and then he's checking for end play. We are just making record time here. David's about ready to throw the overdrive housing down. We measured all of our clearances. Now he's lining up the holes, hopefully. Maybe, not too sure. You look jacked in this 0.5 frame here, by the way. Remember, you can grab that gasket if the gasket's trying to turn on you.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Moment of truth time. Dave's going to air test this. That is the cooler circuit. This is the converter return. Converter apply. Good. This is, which clutch is that? Forward.
Forward.
Yep, next one over is the direct. Yep. Now, normally if it makes that noise, you can
Spin a little bit.
yeah, spin it a little bit. But it sounds good. Sometimes the ceiling rings take a minute. Now this is your second gear, and this is your low reverse. Yep, good. See how it's holding? Good. That's a good seal.
It was still out. I thought it fell there.
Yeah. And then put your thumb there. Remember, you only get one good one.
Because it's air hose. What the hell?
All right, so he's having technical difficulties here, but it sounds right. So now we'll adjust the second gear band, low reverse band, throw the valve body back in it, and into the truck she goes. And filter on, valve body's in, air test good, ready to go. Now we strap it on the old dolly here, transmission jack. We'll get a ratchet strapped, throw this sucker on here, converter. We're just gonna throw the same converter right back in there, nothing wrong with it. Throw the T-case on. Next time we pick up the camera, we'll be checking it for line pressure, checking the gears, see how good a job David did. All right, she's stabbed back in there. Converter bolt's tight. Drop shaft linkage. Line's blown out. Hopefully we stop this T-case leak now. I'm gonna wipe it down, set this on the ground, and see if we have any line pressure. Well, David must have done something right. It has reverse. Has reverse. We're gonna have to check the fluid here in a little bit. Probably got a little foamy. All right, everyone got real wrapped around the edge last time I did four-wheel drive boosted launches with my knee. So I guess we'll just casually drive this thing. A bunch of losers. I'll even leave the window down so y'all can die of smoke inhalation with me. See if we got second, Dave. We do. See if we got lockup. Ooh, nice job, Dave. See if we got a 2-3 bind. Ooh, nailed it. My man. Crispy. Honestly, guys, I think that's why it was shifting so weird, was my linkage was messed up. Real talk here. Let's see if we got lockup. Let's go back to second. No bind. I like it. I like it. I'm a big fan. So far, so good. Line pressure's looking healthy. 160. I didn't increase the TV. See what we got in lockup. So we're right at 180, which 180 probably good for about 1,000 horse, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. So we're not going to beat on it. My goal was to just show Dave how to rebuild these on a high horsepower truck, the specs, because my transmission, his transmission, they're same for the most part. And now that the cat's out of the bag, me going to Cali, I don't want to really tear this thing up before I got to load it on a trailer. But all in all, this thing drives great. We're just gonna check overdrive. I just needed some room to get up to speed here, and now with these brakes, I mean, man, it's sketchy driving it on the street. Overdrive. Very nice. Very nice. Making about 180 psi line pressure. I'd imagine once it gets warm, it'll probably be like 175. So we got to bump it up the TV a little bit, but We use a zip tie, so not exactly a precision instrument here. Just give it a little power. Very nice, David. Very, very nice. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this video. Big thank you to David. Helped me pull it, helped me install it. This was his first real trans build that I really didn't supervise all that much. I was here to answer questions, but he nailed it. Drives great. We have all the gears, all good things. I'll check to make sure it doesn't leak tonight, but all in all, a very successful first transmission build for that old man. I say old because he is a little older than me, but he did fantastic. Super happy, and I think he's ready to go, guys. I mean, we're doing the best to turn the reins over, and this was kind of the last frontier. I think he nailed it, and I tell people it's 50-50. Like I've said before, you can build a transmission in a race truck, and because of the application, sometimes they don't last that long because of the driver, how they're being used. It can also be the builder, but it's kind of almost isolated because it's in such a rough environment. The guys that are building these and they're going 100,000, 150,000 miles, that's also very impressive at like 600 horsepower. So like I said, we refreshed it. Y'all saw what we tore up, and yeah, drop your comments, what you think, how David did. Give this one a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already, and as always, I'll catch y'all on the next one.